Shares of Garmin added on another 13% today, bringing the one-year move to almost 100. 97% rally. It's doubled, George. We've hit it a few times. I don't know, this might be the last one for overlook. This thing is getting a lot of attention now from investors. Why is it doing so well? I will say, small context, went to a lunch with some folks a couple weeks ago, and like 3 of them were wearing those Garmin watches.
Most likely the Phoenix watch, which is a very popular watch from both a wearable aspect, but also fitness. And I think that's, part of the story for Garmin. I mean, traditionally speaking, the fitness and sports, as well as the GPS navigation technologies for automotive, were really the crux of their business. But this company is really evolving. And I think one of the growth stories behind the stock is not necessarily their fitness devices per se, or their old school GPS for automotive technologies. I think it comes down to the aviation, the marine business. I think the aviation business is actually growing quite considerably, and their technologies are being very well integrated in that space. But at the same time, Garmin is evolving its products outside of its core GPS technologies. They're actually moving into areas like traffic cameras, as well as collision avoidance and infotainment integration for autonomous driving. And they're also growing their business in the communications, public safety communications business as well. And so some of the traditional names out there are Motorola Solutions, which, if you look at that stock, is actually not performing well in the last 6 months. But at the same time, public safety technology company Axon, I'm sure you've talked about that company. I think we've talked about it as well. That stock has gone up tremendously. So I think there's some encroachment of Garmin into those other areas of public safety, communications, technology services, and products. That speaks to why it's going higher. But they did report some very nice numbers, to say the least. I mean, if you look at their EPS growth for the quarter, they published $2.41. That was about 39 cents higher than the estimate of 202, and that number was higher by about 40% compared to the same quarter last year. And then sales were higher by about 23%, also besting the number at 1.82 billion versus the 1.69. But they did denote just for the full year of 24 that their fitness and wearable segment grew about 31%, outdoor and marine grew about 16%, and aviation only 4%. But going forward, I think this is interesting because this gives you an idea that they're starting to expand on other areas besides their fitness product line of technologies. Their fitness growth is only expected in 2025 to grow around 10%, but their outdoor marine is expected to continue to move higher at around 10% combined, as well as avionics higher by about 5%.
All right. Seems like a pretty big success story as they've continued to broaden out their product suite and having huge success with them. Reliable products, it seems like. And a really specific niche that is willing to pay premium for this stuff. Absolutely. It feels like it's like a rite of passage. If you want to do anything on a mountain more than for a vacation, it's like you got to have a Garmin, or else you're a tourist. You're a kook. Thanks, George. Appreciate it.